Howdy, Tumbleweed here. I must own up to being especially partial to and respectful of Texas Rangers, given that my grandfather, Horace Greathouse, was one, and one of my cousins, John Beeman Red John Dunn, stood out in his Ranger notoriety. There were other Texas Rangers among my ancestors, but those two stand out for me. I happened upon my grandfather's Ranger records at the Texas Ranger wing of the Heritage Museum in Falfurrias, while Red John's exploits are vividly related in his autobiography, Perilous Trails of Texas, published in 1932 and republished in 2015. Now, importantly, my cousin Red John especially inspired a bit of the framework around which I've built my Texas Ranger characters in the Tumbleweed Sagas. Flesh that out with the likes of real-life famous Texas Rangers like Jack Coffee Hayes, Ben McCulloch, John Salmon Rip Ford, Leander McNally, James Callahan, and John Hughes, and there's fodder for a great protagonist. According to historian Walter Webb, the term Ranger first appeared in Stephen Austin's colony in 1826. Captain James Robb led 31 militia against the Tawacanas Indians. Now, a regular corps of Texas Rangers appeared in the Texas Revolution in 1835, mostly serving as scouts and couriers. That being said, the early Texas Rangers were veritable arsenals on horseback. They returned to Sharp's rifles, the so-called buffalo gun, and they often carried 2 Colt revolvers and the ubiquitous Bowie knife. The Texas Rangers first furnished their own horses, and they were regarded as fine horsemen. As I describe in my Tumbleweed Sagas, danger lurked wherever Texas Rangers rode. Prairie fires, blizzards, floods, stampedes, desperate killers, rustlers, disease, and savages. Well, they were part and parcel. Just about anywhere a ranger rode, death could be reaching for his horse's reins. Now, these were lawmen who were called on to make quick life or death decisions, and all too frequently were outnumbered and outgunned. Yet they nearly always won. The Mexicans referred to them as Los Tejanos Diablos. I expect it could be said that a bit of the romance of the old western frontier is embedded within the images of Texas Rangers doing their duty and more. From Woodrow Call in Lonesome Dove to LaBeouf in True Grit to J.J. McQuaid in Lone Wolf McQuaid that led to Walker, Texas Ranger, and on to my own Luke Dunn in the Tumbleweed Sagas, the fictional men who've worn the Texas Ranger badge have been cast as characters of considerable courage and high moral principle. Folks could hardly doubt their courage, though moral principle at times may have taken a beating. Real or fictitious, the Texas Rangers were arguably the most fearsome and effective law enforcement organization ever to exist on the American frontier. Now, thus far, y'all have been treated to 3 Tumbleweed Sagas featuring Texas Ranger Luke Dunn. They've been Nueces Justice, Nueces Reprise, and Nueces Deceit. A 4th saga, Nueces Blood, will be released in late March, and more sagas are coming. And I urge you to experience the recently released biography I've written of the life of my great-great-grandfather, a true Texan, who immigrated from Ireland and helped tame the Nueces Strip. Please do purchase and read your copy of Nicholas Dunn, The Making of a Texas Legend. And great news, the narrations of Nueces Deceit and the Nicholas Dunn biography are in process. Stay tuned for audio releases in March. My books from Defiance Press and Publishing are available online in print, audio, or ebook from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and directly from DefiancePress.com. In this cool winter weather, do curl up in a warm, comfy chair and let your imagination come alive with my books. Enjoy a cup of coffee, or even sip a glass of wine. Get inspired, and especially, y'all do take care.